It was just something I knew we could get behind.
The outpouring of support for a Lexington firefighter battling cancer continues. I'll tell you how you can help out and be in a parade.
The weather is beautiful, but some schools in southeastern Kentucky are closed.
You're going to pass any bug around.
Why a virus is causing school leaders to cancel classes.
It just gives them some relief.
House Speaker Greg Stumbo testifying in front of a House committee today on a bill that would increase the minimum wage.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. The community support has been outstanding. Friends, family, and strangers all have been doing what they can to help the family of a Lexington firefighter battling cancer.
Matt Logston was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer last month. Tonight, a Lexington business owner has come up with a unique fundraiser to help out the family. Sean Moody has the details in our top story at 5:30.
If you'd like to help out a Lexington firefighter battling cancer, this might be for you. If you've always dreamed of being in a parade through downtown Lexington, even better. Lexington business owner hopes to raise more than $1,000 to help out Matt Logston.
Why not help?
Lloyd Wood says one of the things he likes about Lexington is how much people here care about each other.
I think Lexington's one of those cities where everybody kind of tries to help everybody else out.
So when he heard about a Lexington firefighter who needed help, he decided to get in gear, so to speak.
This is the Big Blue Peddler. It's a downtown touring device. Historical tours, family outings, trips to the ice cream shop, the gelato shop, but of course the most popular thing to do is rent it out and go bar hopping or brewery hopping.
Lloyd says the sight of a pedal-powered machine carrying 14 people around downtown Lexington grabs attention.
It's like a parade. There are people waving, screaming, children pointing.
That's exactly what Lloyd expects when he actually is in Lexington St. Patrick's Day Parade Saturday. He'll be riding right behind the firefighters, and each of those seats is up for sale, $100 each.
So if we fill up all 14 seats on the bike during the parade, we should raise at least $1,400.
All that money will go to Lexington firefighter Matt Logston and his family as he battles stage 4 cancer. Lloyd says it's just something he felt drawn to do.
It was just something I knew we could get behind.
Lloyd said he's still got several seats available on that party bike. We have a link to where you can purchase tickets at WKYT.com. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Logston is home now, but will head back to Chicago for more treatment later this month.
New tonight, the niece of a man accused of shooting a state police trooper will not spend any time in jail for her role in that shooting. 18-year-old Ambria Shanks was sentenced to 5 years of probation after pleading guilty to hindering prosecution or apprehension. 31-year-old trooper Joseph Ponder was shot to death in September in western Kentucky after a high-speed chase that started with Cameron pulling over Shanks' uncle for speeding. Police say that during a phone call with her uncle, Shanks told him he was on speakerphone and not to say anything. Her uncle was later shot and killed by state troopers after he refused to surrender.
A woman faces charges tonight accused of shooting and killing her boyfriend. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Marion County. 33-year-old Brandy Roth was arrested and charged with murder late last night. State police say the Marion County Sheriff's Office called them after finding a man dead inside a home in St. Francis. The man was identified as 48-year-old Timothy Hahn. Police say he had several gunshot wounds. Roth was already in the Marion County Jail on unrelated charges. Police say while she was at the jail, Roth talked to a witness about shooting Hahn. In Laurel County, it has been 1 year since a couple was murdered. 62-year-old Donnie Jackson and his wife, 58-year-old Sharon Jackson, were found dead in their burning home on Slate Ridge Road in Lilly on March 8th of 2015. The sheriff says the couple was shot to death before the fire started. No one has been arrested yet for that crime. As of last summer, there was a $10,000 reward being offered for information leading to an arrest. And in Madison County, police are trying to find a wanted man. Richmond police say the U.S. Marshal's office is searching for 34-year-old James Allen Phelps. U.S. Marshals are offering a $500 reward for information leading to his arrest.
It is really hard not to have spring fever right now. We're seeing temperatures in the 70s. It's looking more like and feeling more like May than March. So what's going on? Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at the forecast.
Yeah, that May weather out there going to roll on for the next several days, and eventually it's going to include some thunderstorms breaking out across parts of the area, especially as we go toward the second half of the week into the upcoming weekend. Every location we look at, 70 degrees or better this afternoon. A little bit of cloud cover across the bluegrass region, knocking temperatures down. Clouds have moved away. We've spiked to 73 here at the station, and those numbers will continue to bounce back up over the next half hour or so. Look at our live sky cams across the entire area, and now seeing more in the way of some sun in Frankfort. Jackson with a little bit of high cloud cover zipping its way on through. That beautiful sunshine back here in Lexington. Out and about this evening, it's a slow drop through the 60s. There's a good chance by 11 o'clock this evening, many areas are still 60 degrees or above. How about that? And you see that bank of clouds now east of Interstate 75. Flows right off the Gulf of Mexico, but look at thunderstorms breaking out across parts of Arkansas. Those will eventually scoot out into central and eastern Kentucky, but not until later in the day, Thursday and Friday, and we will hang on to those storms that we'll have to dodge into the upcoming weekend. We'll take a look at that pattern, guys, when I come back in 10 minutes.
Chris, thank you. Sickness has hit one southeastern school hard. Schools across Leslie County were closed today, and they're already scheduled to be closed tomorrow. The superintendent says they canceled classes today after they had only 68% attendance at Stinnett Elementary on Monday. He says several students and staff have tested positive for the flu or strep throat or intestinal viruses. As a precaution, they closed all of the other schools, and work crews are in today to disinfect every surface.
Sneezing, not washing your hands properly, sharing drinks and, whatever they happen to share. And you're going to pass any bug around a lot easier that way.
The superintendent hopes to resume classes on Thursday.
He has been trying to raise the minimum wage in Kentucky for years, and today a committee passed a revised version of House Speaker Greg Stumbo's bill to raise the minimum wage. The original bill proposed raising the wage to $10.10 over the course of 3 years. Hillary Thornton takes a look at what changes are in the new bill.
It is a topic that has been heard by legislators before, a bill pushing to increase the state's minimum wage.
There's a lot of confusion about the minimum wage bill as it was originally drafted. The opponents would say, well, you're jumping it suddenly to $10.10 an hour. That wasn't true. It was a 3-year incremental increase to $10.10 an hour.
So to do away with that confusion, Speaker Stumbo explaining a substitute is now in place, making it just a 1-year deal, increasing from $7.25 to $8.20 an hour.
They're not high school kids anymore. They're working mothers. They're people who are working 2 or 3 jobs to make it, so this gives them some relief.
And Speaker Stumbo says in states that have taken similar action, there has not been any negative impact on businesses, which is why to help protect small businesses, the bill also raises the threshold they have to meet annually to fall under minimum wage requirements. The current level set back in 1976 is at $95,000. This bill would increase that to $500,000.
To make sure that mom and pops, those grossing less than $500,000 a year, $500,000, would not be affected by this particular act.
Speaker Stumbo also explaining a gender equality provision included in the bill. Committee members ultimately voting to pass the bill onto the full House.
Draft Day 85. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And House Bill 278 passes with favorable expression. Thank you very much.
In Frankfort, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
If this bill becomes a law, this would be the first increase for the state's minimum wage since 2009. House Speaker Greg Stumbo also renewed his push to change the state's constitution to give voters the option of temporarily raising sales taxes to pay for construction projects. The proposed amendment was approved by 3 committees. Minority Floor Leader Jeff Hoover, a Republican, is a co-sponsor. A similar proposal passed in the House last year but died in the Senate. The amendment would let local governments impose up to an extra 1% sales tax to raise money for projects. The tax could only be used for specific projects and would expire when the project is done.
When it comes to your car insurance in Kentucky, the 2 largest insurers of Kentucky drivers are State Farm and Kentucky Farm Bureau. We have a question tonight on insurance rates in general across the state. Patsy of London has our good question tonight. She's saying, why does Kentucky have above average automobile insurance rates compared to our neighboring states? Shane Murphy at AAA of the Bluegrass says that compared to other states, Kentucky's average auto insurance rate is actually ranked in the middle of the field, typically. He says there are many variables that go into establishing your auto insurance pricing. Companies will consider factors like where a policyholder lives, the age of the driver, driving history, previous claims, financial stability, and other various rating factors. Murphy of AAA also says that consumers can call their local insurance agent or company to figure out what rating factors are being used in their pricing, to be real specific with it. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
Kentuckians are heading to the polls again today, this time for a special election that could be one for the history books.
And voters in 4 states picking a presidential nominee today. Bill Bryant has details in the bottom line.
Good evening. The polls will be closing shortly in those special elections being held in 4 House districts today. And when those results are in this evening, we'll have a better idea of where the balance of power stands in Frankfort. Voters have been going to the polls all day to decide who will represent them at the state capitol. The winners will immediately be sworn into office. If the Republicans were to sweep all 4 elections today, it would be a 50-50 tie in the state house. It's unclear if that would mean partisan gridlock, or if some might switch parties or caucus with the other party to get things done, such as passing a state budget. There is also a wet-dry special election today in McCreary County. Voters there deciding whether to expand alcohol sales. A decade ago, prohibition was alive and well in most of southern Kentucky, but voters south of Richmond have been trending in favor of going wet in recent years. Adair County has a wet-dry election coming up in 2 weeks on March 22nd. The biggest prize up for grabs in the primaries and caucuses going on in the presidential race today is in Michigan, and polling there suggests that Ohio Governor John Kasich has been closing in on frontrunner Donald Trump in the latest polling out of the Wolverine state on the GOP side. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton has been holding on to a double-digit lead over Bernie Sanders, and former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg has opted out of running for president as an independent after concluding that he would lose. Back in Kentucky, the director of the Legislative Research Commission announced today that more than 900 bills have been filed in Frankfort for consideration during this session, and that's more than any year since 2008. We'll have the results of the Kentucky special elections during the evening on WKYT and, of course, online at WKYT.com. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
What to do with 20 tons of sand? Well, that's the question the Downtown Lexington Corporation is asking the public.
The group is looking for ideas for a temporary public art installation that will grace Triangle Park for about 3 weeks. Woodford County artist Damon Farmer will carve a sculpture from more than 20 tons of sand. The DLC is asking residents what that sculpture should be. Ideas can be submitted to info@downtownlex.com. They will be accepted until 5 p.m. on March 18th. The group will pick 5 ideas, and Farmer will choose one of those 5. Farmer will get to work on the sculpture at the end of the month.
Now.